Before I start my explanation, I wanted to say that I don't really care if you headcanon Donnie as Aroace. I just thought I'd share why I personally dislike the headcanon, and obviously headcanoning Donnie as Aroace isn't bad. I am Ace of Garlic Breads, but you can call me Ace or Athena. And before I get started again, I wanted to give a mini definition on the Aroace label. Aroace is a combination of the labels asexual and aromantic. Asexual means someone feels little to no sexual attraction, and aromantic is when someone feels little to no romantic attraction. These two aren't one and the same. You can be one and not the other. And now, on to my main point. Now, onto the video itself. Now, I've seen people headcanon Donnie as Aroace for the last few months. I've been in this fandom, and personally, I am not the biggest fan of it. Before I go any further, I would like to mention that I myself am Aroace, and yeah, I love headcanon characters as Aroace, and I wanted to say that before I go into it, not to sound like I'm like hating on the headcanon. I'm just saying this as an Aroace person. Not saying the Aroace people aren't valid, because I'm Aroace myself. I'm no expert on anything, and I'm just a teenager on the internet wanting to share my thoughts on a headcanon, and everything in this video is purely my opinion. You don't have to agree, and if you disagree and have counterpoints, please absolutely feel free to comment below and we can have a discussion about it. Now, the idea of Aroace Donnie is an interesting concept to me, and I know that being Aroace is a spectrum, and, you know, I'm on said spectrum, but personally, I just headcanon Donnie as asexual, but more unlabeled in other aspects. But obviously, I also love the non-binary Donnie headcanon because it's just fun. But that's not exactly the point. But getting into my dislike of the headcanon, and again, let me say, I don't care if you headcanon Donnie as Aroace. It is not an issue that is like a big thing, is not majorly problematic. I just personally dislike it as an Aroace person. Now, Donnie is a canonically autistic character, and I myself am also on the neurodiversity spectrum, but I am not autistic myself. I am ADHD. I have ADHD. Why did I just say I am ADHD? Okay, but he also has a generally colder, more distant, like, demeanor, and is a more distant character emotionally, and isn't as physically affectionate with other people. And I'm obviously not saying that is a bad thing, and Aroace people can't be like that, but I see it a lot in characters who are headcanoned as Aroace, that they are a very cold character, they are very distant to others, that they can be more like robotic in nature, and that is, you know, something that as a stereotype Aroace people have to deal with a lot in the ways of the other people in the LGBTQ plus community and outsider, like people who aren't a part of the community, seeing us as like these more robotic people, and that is not the best stereotype for my community. And I'm very conscious that Aroace people are underrepresented, because I am Aroace myself, and I have been in fandom, like majorly active in fandom on social media for the last 4 years. Yeah, 4 years this July, actually. But and it's especially prominent that we don't have much representation in younger characters. So why am I making a whole video on why I dislike an Aroace headcanon for a younger character that I adore and is my favorite in the entire series he comes from? is because of the stereotyping. Like I said a second ago, the majority of the Aroace headcanons I see are on characters that share so many of the same traits as each other. They're all more intellectual in nature, and they're not the most open. They're very closed in personality-wise, and I'm not saying those headcanons don't make sense or that I can't love them. I do love headcanons like that, but for Donnie, I personally can't see it. For me personally, Donnie just gives me chaotic so asexual energy. Like the kind of ace person that has a horrific AO3 history. And like the stereotyping of the colder, distant characters Aroace gives me a bad taste in my mouth, because it makes me feel like this is what non-ace people see Aroace folks as, or people who don't really have a good understanding of what being Aroace is to, so, and here is something I can basically liken it to. To me, that is kind of like the non-binary, gender non-conforming shapeshifter type, or the non-human, non-binary, or more gender non-conforming stereotype. It's alike to me in nature because I share both the labels of Aroace and non-binary, and I see a lot of people talking about how the shapeshifter non-binary stereotype is, not the best. But anyways, all of these things combined are basically why I love the Aroace Mikey headcanon so much, because it will flip the stereotype on its head, and because Mikey is a character who is a lot more physically affectionate, more open emotionally, like he is the most emotionally open character, or like specifically of the main four brothers in the show, or that entire family. He is the most open, and because it makes me feel a little more represented, because I share a lot of personality traits with Mikey. Yeah, he has a much more similar personality to me than Donnie does. And personally, I definitely think Aroace people are awesome. I mean, I'm Aroace myself, and the headcanons are all great, and I really think we should have more Aroace characters, but I think we should branch out in the types of characters that we headcanon Aroace. So I'm going to quickly list off some of my favorite Aroace headcanon characters, and what they're from. And, these are all my opinion, and so here's my list. Dewey from the 2017 DuckTales, Wacko Warner from Animaniacs, Reina Avila Ramirez Arellano, Calypso Thalia Grace from the Riordanverse. I'm pretty sure I have more headcanons from there, but those are the ones I could think of when scripting this. Hunter, Willow, and Emera from the Owl House. And that's basically just scratching the surface of my favorite Aroace headcanons. And you don't have to headcanon these are my personal ones, and these are just examples of my favorite Aroace headcanons, and obviously Rise of the TMNT Mikey is on there, but I've already mentioned that I love that headcanon in this video already. And I am like I said before, I am absolutely happy to hear your counterpoints to what I'm saying in the comments below. I want to have discussions with you guys about this, because I am more than happy to hear it. I'm more than happy to change my mind if there are points, if I see any points that are alike enough to, I'm more than happy to read your rebuttal points, and that is basically all I have today. Here's the art that I made throughout the video. like this art and any other art I've made on this channel, or if you want to see my art in general, all my other social media links are in the description below. And as always, I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you want to hear more about my opinions on things, or just me talking or seeing like random compilations of stuff that I've made, just feel free to subscribe if you want. I have playlists on my channel of speed paints, of TikTok compilations, the different fandoms I've been in and made content for. But wherever you are, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have an amazing rest of your day. And like I said, thank you so much for watching. I absolutely love that you were willing to sit and listen to me ramble for the last undetermined amount of time, because I'm going to be editing things the plane.